From the Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OU update, a signing day edition. It is National Signing Day. While a lot of the ink was dried back in that early signing period, today Oklahoma signing 3 additional players to their 2018 class. And Brooke, at the top of that list is Michael Thompson, a guy that was, as of this morning, undecided, hadn't announced, and we find out he's going to be a Sooner. How big of a get for the Sooners is Michael Thompson?
Well, physically, it's a really big get. He's 6'4.5", about. Rivals, I think, list him at 273, but when I talked to his coach 2 days ago, he said he's closer to 320 and needs to lose about 20 pounds. So he's a really big physical guy, 4-star guy, is a huge bolster to that defensive group. They already had 1 defensive tackle committed and signed in Jordan Kelly from Union, and then they had, I think, 2 or 3 defensive ends in the group too, but Michael Thompson considered the number 2 player in Missouri by Rivals, a Rivals top 100 guy. So this is a huge boost to their class. It moved them from number 8 to number 6 in the Rivals team recruiting rankings. So it's a guy that's really going to fortify that line, give them some more depth. That's something they haven't had for quite a while.
You know what? Another guy that was up in the air today, announced today, best name around, at least I think, Tank. He picked Texas A&M, though, Brooks, so we get to lament not using his name. But a guy that the Sooners wanted, one of those more high-profile guys, right?
Yeah, he is, and he's a guy that, you know, I'm disappointed from a story standpoint that he isn't coming to OU. A, the name. B, he has a really interesting backstory from Park Crossing in Montgomery, Alabama, and that's a school that didn't have a football program until 4 years ago. Talking with their coach, they had, you know, college coaches coming in for visits that couldn't find the school because it wasn't on Google Maps. But he's going to Texas A&M along with Jeremiah Martin, I believe is his name. He's also going to Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher, being the new head coach there, is just making a killing on signing day. He's signed a whole bunch of top guys. So it'll be interesting to see where their recruiting class ends up shaking out in those team rankings.
Yeah, Tank Jenkins, by the way, maybe not the best last name, but we could have done some headlines with a first name like Tank. Lastly, Brooke, we mentioned only a couple, 3 signings today. 2 defensive. We already talked about Michael Thompson, a linebacker, and then a tight end are in the 3, which leaves Oklahoma with a couple spots. They are not at that max 25 for this class. So I know we haven't heard from Lincoln Riley yet today, but what's the best guess about what those final 3 spots might look like for the Sooners?
Well, you know, I think they're definitely done today. I would not expect any more signings today unless something just completely out of left field happens. They could be in the market for a couple graduate transfers. I think there's still one out there that's deciding in a couple weeks. You could see a couple guys that didn't have scholarships end up with some scholarships. I think that it's very much fluid at this point, and OU's not too stressed about it. I mean, you have under the maximum and still the number 6 recruiting class. That's pretty impressive, so I think they've got to feel good about where this day ended up.
All right, Lincoln Riley, Sooners head coach. We'll talk later today. We'll have coverage of that and all of National Signing Day, so be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.